see everybody. Who else here is just like me and you find yourself getting older? All right, yeah, you can't avoid it. I'm getting to the point where I am not sure I appreciate it. I have to start making some important decisions. Gin or Geritol. Whippets or Werthers. And the important one, lady, bangs or Botox. And my vote is for bangs. It's a lot cheaper, more bang for your buck. Bad joke. A couple years ago, I made another big decision in my life, and I got honest with myself, and I finally came out as a Lions fan. Yeah, hell yeah. It was a complete don't ask, don't tell situation. Really, I mean, you couldn't admit it. People would think you were a moron, but here we are. But the first year that we got, this year, I'm excited about, but that first year that we got good and it was okay to be a Lions fan, I was actually happy that we did not go all the way through to the Super Bowl. Because I was convinced if we had, it would have been an absolute sign of the apocalypse. Right? Old Testament, frogs and locusts and $10 a gallon gas, and who needs that mess? So we dodged that bullet, and this year absolutely all the way. Very excited, but I think we got lucky. And then I was thinking about other things that have happened to me, and I realized that's not the only bullet that I dodged. A couple weeks ago, I had the best dentist appointment of my life. And I never thought I'd be saying those words because I don't like the dentist. I'm not psychotic. But as a pro tip, if you are a big enough baby and you can cry on demand, they will give you nitrous oxide for a cleaning. Absolutely true. So I was at the dentist in the chair on the nitrous, and the hygienist says to me, "Oh, hang on a second, I'll be right back." And she left me there in the chair on the nitrous for 30 minutes. Yes, 30 minutes. I was feeling no pain. I was singing songs and hearing flowers and smelling colors. I was having a great time. And she comes back and I said, "Did you hear that, Rose? It was beautiful." And she put me on oxygen. Pretty rude. But she said, "We lost water. Can we reschedule?" I said, "Listen, anytime you want me to start my day by coming in and getting 30 minutes of nitrous and then going back out, I'm all in." But I dodged that bullet, you guys. I got gassed without getting drilled. Yeah. And it's like when I got pulled over and only got a warning for the 20 over that I clearly, absolutely deserved. Again, crying on demand, it's a life skill. I suggest you keep it in your pocket, sir, just to have on hand. Or when my husband decided to have kielbasa with sauerkraut and baked beans for dinner, but he was out of town for work when he did that, so I didn't get gassed or drilled that night. I do. I look, my husband last week was actually our 35th wedding anniversary.
Woo! Right.
Yeah. Which is amazing, because I like to think it was okay to get married at the age of 12 in Kentucky, because I like that age a lot better, but here we are. But there's things some things are the same 35 years later, some things are different. Our love language, though, has really changed, I found. 35 years ago, our love language was edible underwear, and now 35 years later, it's edibles. And they taste surprisingly similar. I'm just saying. And 35 years ago, it was sexy lingerie, and now it's sexy compression stockings. And 35 years ago, it was kinky sex positions, and now we figure out who's on top solely by whose back doesn't hurt. Not the same at all. We used to do shots of Patron before we went out, to loosen up because we were cool and hip, and we're still doing shots of Metamucil to loosen up before we stay in. It's not the same thing, you guys. It just isn't. We're also getting to play this awesome game that I like to call "Whose Body Made That Fucking Noise?" And did it come out of your mouth, your ass, or both? And there's this incredible bonus round for this that no one wants to win, and that is called God's name did you eat to make that smell? And we're both guilty of this, but the last time I won this game and guessed right, I thought I had COVID because I couldn't smell anything else for about 2 weeks. And I apologize for the people that are eating, but the winning combination that night was bourbon and asparagus. That is the only right reaction to that mess. It really is. When you guys were young, did anyone want to have some kind of a superpower? Yeah, and what did you want to be or do?
Like X-ray vision.
X-ray vision is an excellent choice. I wanted to have something happen, and now that I have recently realized I do have one, and it's the most suckiest superpower that I could possibly have. As a mid-50s white woman, and I'm short, I am invisible. It's terrible. I think I do this with my hair just so I have a fighting chance of people being able to see me, because no one sees me coming. And this last summer, with the 110,000 degree days every single day, and everyone's out watching the fireworks and whatnot, I hate crowds, you guys. I do. I absolutely hate them because my nose is armpit height with all you tall people, and it is not a pretty situation. I have some words for you, like, I don't know, shower, deodorant, patchouli, you gotta do something. I am so short, I can't even reach the top shelf in my kitchen if I'm standing on the counter. So all the good Halloween candy disappears up there. I haven't seen a Snickers in years. I haven't seen the Girl Scout Thin Mint cookie, in years either. They're all looking up there, just like laughing at me. And it's terrible. I have this friend, and I love her to death. She's my best friend in the world, but she's well over 6 foot tall, right? And she does these marathons. She's, Sara, you have to come and run with me, endorphins. It's fantastic. And I'm like, no, it's the same stupid 27 miles, but I have to take twice as many steps as you do. That is science. That is absolutely science. And when we're out on our bikes together, I look like I'm with my mom. And I'm like, hey, let's stop for ice cream. She's, well, maybe later, dear. And I'm like, oh, no, that is terrible. That is a terrible thing to say to me. And I can only get onto the good rides at Cedar Point if I wear my platform sneakers and go ever so slightly up on my toes. I think I get on more by age than by, actual height at this point. And I have, it's a terrible thing. And I have not found a booth in a restaurant in my entire life where I can sit and have my feet touch the floor. It's ridiculous. I was sitting around with my friend and her equally tall husband, and we were in these Adirondack chairs, and we're having a great time, and they have their drinks on the arms of the chairs, and, just we're talking and everything, and I lost myself, and I forgot who I was, and I forgot what I'm about, and I let myself slide back, and I'm stuck in this Adirondack chair with my legs straight out in front of me like I'm waiting for a pap smear, and every time I had to take a drink, I had to do a crunch. And who wants to drink, drinking crunch? Nobody ever. And I thought, this is as bad as this can get. But no, then we wanted to leave at the end of the night. And I was stuck in that damn chair, right? And my friend's husband comes up and he's like, Sara, do you need a hand? I'm like, yeah, thank you, that'd be great. He's like, no, uppies. Ask for uppies. I'm like, uppies? Up yours. Oh my God, I'm not a baby. I'm just short. Stop doing this. And I have a question for every real tailor in this world. If you do not want me using your shelving units as a ladder, why do you put whatever I want on the top damn shelf of every single store? Can I get a hallelujah? Hallelujah. Yeah, hell yeah. So I am no longer allowed in at Meijer or Kroger or Home Depot. I tried taking my own step stool in at Lowe's, but they wanted to see the receipt on the way out, and I had to buy back my own step stool. And I keep forgetting that receipt every single time, so I bought the same step stool like 12 times, I think. It's terrible. And on one night of absolute bad decisions and poor life choices, I no longer am allowed in at Total Wine or Lover's Lane. Don't judge me. It's a hard living. It's a hard thing. Back in 2020, when the world went crazy, I'm going to throw my husband under the bus a little bit more. Because why not?
What else is new?
What else is new? But back in 2020, when everything shut down, he was able to leave his office, right, and start working from home. And we were totally thrilled and blessed and lucky and fortunate and yada, yada, yada. It's 2025, y'all, and everything's open, live comedy, you guys are here, it's great to see faces. My husband is so antisocial. He went to his work and called him and said, I'll keep working for you, I need the money, but I don't really want to go into the office. And they said, that's cool, we don't really like you enough to make you come in. So, and while he's been working from home, they actually, totally not a joke, moved his office and he no longer even knows where he works. So he couldn't go back into the office even if he wanted to. How sad is that? But, so I have gotten to spend, unexpectedly, an ungodly amount of time with the man I once loved. No, I do love him. But it's hard, 35 years, man. There are some days where, I don't know, I am just so tired, drunk, that the words I want leave my head, and I'm willing to bet you guys would be so much more helpful when I have these brain farts than my husband ever is. An example, the other night I was making a pot of spaghetti and I said, hon, where's the water? Let her out her. Spaghetti's done, you need to keep the spaghetti in the pot, let out the water. You guys, my helpful new friends, would say I was looking for. Thank you, I hear colander, I hear strainer. These are helpful suggestions. Where the hell were you a couple nights ago? What I got was, Sara, use your big girl words. Are we trying to say strainer? Oh, I'm trying to strain something, pal. Oh my God. And then he was out using the lawn vacuum, sucking up the leaves. And I said, hon, do we have any, windshield juice? And he just looks at me, and I'm like, squeegee sauce. I'm like, wiper water. I said, I need to clean the windows without it being raining. Do we have these things? And he just said, Sara, use our big girl words. So I threw my talk machine picture taker at him. Because I ran out of patience. But last weekend, this was pretty good. Last weekend I got, Sara, it's the weekend and we don't have to work and we have nothing going on. And honestly, it's been a little while. What do you say? I said, sweetheart, use your big boy words. What do you think he was trying to ask? Nothing, exactly. Words are important. He said nothing, and that is what happened last weekend. Stop giving me a hard time. Oh, I am an OG diabetic. I have been diabetic so long, there's only been one kind when I was diagnosed. And that was after I woke up from a 5-day coma. It's okay, I got better. But I tell you what, that is the best sleep of my entire life. And I've been chasing that high ever since. I have not found it. Oh my gosh, but my aunt, my 88-year-old aunt is a newly diagnosed type 2 diabetic. Wegovy, Ozempic, dance around and sing songs about it, a diabetic. And she recently got some terrible food poisoning, and she went to the doctor, and she's telling me about this. And she said, the doctor said to me that when you're a senior citizen, she's 88, when you're a senior citizen and have something like diabetes, you're more likely to get in situations like this. And then she said, aren't we lucky? We? Oh, and no, great granny auntie there. I didn't hear you because I couldn't hear you over the sound of your hip breaking. I am not a senior. Oh my God. Did they even have cars when you were born? Did you vote for Lincoln? What is going on here? No, I don't think we, Kimosabi, this is not happening. And I was furious. And I went to my soon-to-be dead husband and I said, can you believe that, my aunt just called me a senior? And the love of my life, who is going to die soon, said, well, so now I am completely furious because I have to take my time and my money and actually buy him this year because what he usually gets is not going to happen, folks. Oh, let's see what else. A little bit more. This is another good one, and these are all true stories too. By the way, here's my life. You're welcome. A little bit ago, last month, I was in Vegas again, for work, and right at dinner time, bedtime rather. I got a weird call from my husband, and he answered, and he says, Sara, we have a problem. I'm like, okay, what's going on? And he says, I wanted to surprise you, and I got some Viagra. And I said, married for 35 years, right on, you got a script. And he said, no, I borrowed some. And I was like, you borrowed some? He goes, yeah, I didn't want to commit, so I borrowed some. I'm like, you borrowed Viagra? From who? Wouldn't you go to the neighbor next door and say, hey, it's my 35th wedding anniversary, can I borrow a cup of Viagra? Oh my God, you didn't go to the people on the block that have the upside down pineapple painted on their garage door. Did you? That would be absolutely horrible. And he's like, no. I borrowed it from your father. What? You borrowed a boner from my father? What? We took his keys away. What do you mean you borrowed? He still has Viagra? Why didn't you just go to a gas station like a normal person? How did you even know he had Viagra? How did you ask him? Oh my God, is that what the thumbs up was when we had dinner with him last time? What do you have a problem now? What could be wrong? And he said, I was getting ready for bed and I took one of the edibles so I could sleep well, but I got confused because I took it early, and on accident I took a Viagra, and so now I have a problem. And I said, sweetheart, use your big boy words. Are you asking for phone sex? What are you wearing, big boy? I can't wait to Parmesan your eggplant. What does that mean? Do you want extra cream with your crepes? I can do this all night long. And my husband said, never mind. Please stop. There's no problem. Another superpower, secret superpower of mine. A couple weeks ago, another true story, because this is my life. I had a breakfast business meeting at an IHOP by my house, and we had a little separate room about this size, and there was a TV on the wall for presentations and such. And as we turned on this monitor, I got to see and hear top volume. Oh my goodness! Will all 4 of you plumbers fit in my shower to help fix my leak? Yes, Pornhub and IHOP, right? I mean, I knew I was at IHOP. I had no idea it stood for International House of Porn. That was new. Those were some of the biggest stacks I have seen in a very, very long time. And I can no longer look at syrup on my pancakes in quite the same way. And while I enjoy sausage with my biscuits, at a random 8 o'clock in the morning on a random Thursday, I was not prepared to see sausage between her biscuits. And then it got weird. Because they wanted to know how I wanted my coffee. And I had to say, well, with a lot less dick. And absolutely no cream. Thank you so very much. Oh, golly. Okay. I'm gonna give you one more. It's a big story. I'm gonna close out on this big story. I am coming up to another big anniversary in my life. Last December, right before Christmas, I was in the shoe department at Kohl's. So you know the story is gonna end badly. And as I walked past this total stranger, I heard her mutter, say, "Excuse me, bitch." Oh Oh, your outrage is heartwarming. Thank you. I appreciate that. But, you know, it was right before Christmas. So many people have bad days. I get that. I do. And I could have let that slide. I, however, chose to just turn around, tap this person on the shoulder, and say, "Can you hear me?" 100% true. 100% true. And I am well aware I'm going right to hell for that. That is not even the question here. You know, my evilness that I question, but it doesn't come from that, because you didn't see the look of horror on this woman's face. It was beautiful, and I'd do it again in a heartbeat if I could. I worry though. I worry about my soul and how evil I am. No, I know how evil my soul really is, because I kept that complete garbage up for 10 minutes. 10 minutes dragging this stranger through the shoe department with me at Kohl's, helping me look for shoes that never existed. Merry Christmas to me.